Hi, I'm Kyle McAuley with new Filmmakers Los Angeles and MovieMaker magazine. We're sitting here at the Cameron Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood with Bruce Caulk, the director and producer of Chelsea's Light. Let's watch a clip.
On February 25th, 2010, my 17-year-old sister, Chelsea King, disappeared while on a jog on the trails behind me.
More than 100 people are searching as we speak for a local teenager who disappeared during an afternoon jog.
After searching terrain and trails, still no Chelsea King. Chelsea went running along trails at the Rancho Bernardo Community Center on Thursday. Her black BMW.
These were the words no one wanted to hear today. Around 4 o'clock, a non-stop search for Chelsea King ceased.
Keep her spirit alive for us. Thank you.
This extensive investigation, evidence was discovered that linked Gardner to Miss King.
This is why our family, directly after my sister's death, decided to create Chelsea's Law.
To protect other daughters and other mothers from this incomprehensible nightmare I'm walking through.
The first question I'll ask is, where did you get your inspiration for this?
The story came to me, it found me, but I knew of it. In San Diego, when Chelsea King was murdered, it was a big deal, and it became national news. So I remember the story. I have kids, and it's something that nobody wants to have happen, but you never expect something like that to happen with child predators. So I knew of it, and then when the family approached me about making their film and telling their story, I was very intrigued.
I mean, I guess you kind of just touched on this, but would you say that the main reason why you got so involved is because you are a father yourself? And
yeah, there's a certain responsibility and opportunity you have as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, and when you make commercials or corporate or features, but when you see something that can make a difference for the general population and make a difference for kids that you'll never meet, and if Chelsea's Law is extended around the country, they will be protected because these guys will be staying in prison. So I think that the real motivator was for me to use my skills to make a movie that would make a difference.
yeah. Have you guys had any issue with exposure or getting it placed into venues?
It's interesting because child predators is a creepy topic, right? And people, even though it's prevalent, people kind of don't want to talk about it. It's like, that happens to people over there. We're good. So I think it even comes with festival voters and things like that. The Chelsea Foundation takes a very serious line on these guys. The recidivism, this research shows, they're going to do it again and again, especially the people who violently hurt kids like that, 14 and under. That's what Chelsea's Law is about, to keep them in prison, lock them up, one strike. So it's not necessarily the most liberally, politically correct approach to rehabilitation. So I think that there has a little bit of blowback on people saying, I'm not quite sure where I stand on this issue, and I'm not sure how that plays with voters. We've had good success with festivals, but at the same time, I think that there's a little bit of hesitation to get behind a project that really wants to keep people locked up on one strike for hurting kids.
Yeah. Well, I know that you guys have had, I don't remember the exact number, but I know that you guys have helped to keep several million kids safe because of this film. What is the ultimate goal?
The goal is to go state by state for the Chelsea King Foundation, Chelsea's Light Foundation, and it takes a lot of resources to do that. So they're they're in Texas, Illinois, I think Iowa, because we were down there filming, and they've got a lot of presence there, and with the legislation getting law there. So just one state at a time, because it's not a federal thing. So the idea would be to have every state have a Chelsea's Law in it, and these people to stay. And there's also, it's not just about keeping people in prison, and it's not just about for the random sex offender. It's for the really violently sick guy who hurts, or woman who hurts a kid that's 14 or younger, and like that. So it's also about better tracking. They don't have the resources, the government, to really track these guys once they get out. So at least it's like a mandatory 48 hours a month, which doesn't seem like a lot, But it's better than like, I don't know where he was, because these guys get out, and if you're not tracked, even if you have the bracelet on, what does it matter? If you're around schools or libraries and public parks and things like that.
Right.
So that's part of it as well.
Yeah. So what was your production like? What was your budget? What kind of cameras did you use? Can you give us a little detail about that?
Yeah, they brought me on because I have a tendency to try to make bigger films, and I wanted to have it play in 2K on a real theater that would look great. But then Sony gave us like an A99, which is a digital SLR, which wasn't the same resolution, but at the same time it was really handy, like in any documentary. So I would just give that to Tyler to take in Chicago and film with his friends, like about what his life was like, and brushing his teeth, and how because this guy lost his sister to a child predator, and you kind of go into your own shell. Clearly, at least that's what his life was about, and I wanted to see that side of it. And it's not, you can't have a crew to find that. It's like, just give me a lot of footage, Tyler, and we'll pick it out. So. And then we'd go back for our bigger shoots and go on Red. We shot over 18 months, or the project spanned 18 months. For nonprofits, they're not always as liquid as you'd like to make a movie. And we budgeted this originally maybe $200,000. We shot in different states across the country, and we did it as funds showed up. And then when they realized that they were pretty much tapped out for the way they fundraise, we did a Kickstarter and had a huge response. We probably raised $85,000 in a month.
Oh, wow.
On that, yeah. So we had a good Kickstarter,
impressive.
which it was good for a documentary, and so we used that for our finishing funds, and we had animators doing maps and really cool graphics about stats, making it creative and color correct and all the normal things. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so before you guys actually got into shooting, did it feel pretty well organized? I mean, was it storyboarded? Did you have an idea of how it was going to unfold?
It was interesting. One of my initial instincts was to, I'm not a reenactment guy, I'm not a reality guy in general, but it's to somehow dramatize some scenarios of predators and really show you had to, like you're saying, you got to show the underbelly. I mean, you want to hear from the people who are pro-predator, I guess, but also you can't really do this topic without diving in. And at the beginning, I always say I had to put my Oliver Stone Natural Born Killers hat on, and as a parent and everything, it's like I had to get kind of dark, and I started listening into audio cassettes of these, recordings of people who have kidnapped kids and put them in basements, and it's like, whoa, 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 this is a really creepy underground world that exists. So once I got to that point, I knew Tyler wanted to write it. We drafted an outline as best we could, and he started sending me pages. He was actually a really talented writer. And then I ran into Salvi Malachi, who's a producer and works with you guys, and she helped find me a really good editor. So we kind of put pieces together as we went, like a lot of documentaries do, and stories would unfold. We didn't storyboard, but the original narrative storylines I was scripting, Tyler didn't get a chance to see him because his dad was overseeing it for a little bit. Tyler saw him later, he goes, Bruce, why didn't we shoot those? But we also kind of agreed that like everything had to be true. I mean, like a documentary, but sometimes you staged some things. And he's like, no, I want it all to be raw. So we just went and shot after that.
Okay.
Once we had that sort of those ground rules.
Very cool.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.